Steve, I know you were there in Cleveland, and I know you cover everybody throughout this league. How jarring is it for you, who have covered Peyton Manning forever, to see him go into Cleveland and make those 3 turnovers? Because it took me, several games to go, well, yeah, that's who Peyton Manning is now. How jarring was it for you to see Peyton Manning throw 3 picks?
I saw him the week before in Oakland as well.
Right.
And, I'd seen the film breakdowns, and then you're kind of saying, well, is it Peyton? Yes, some of it's Peyton, but, is the receiver running the right depth, X, Y, Z? And when I saw those 2 games, I was like, oh, man, Peyton is clearly not the same guy athletically and mentally, because the one thing you see when you watch the film, when I watch it with some of these, former players, like Brian Baldinger and whatnot, is he's locking on to guys. He's almost like a rookie quarterback at times, saying, okay, I know where the ball is supposed to go, and if I get it out now, I'll be able to get it to him on time, and then he can make a big play. And he's not noticing the fact that maybe the defender, like we saw Barkevius Mingo, sank instead of rushed. We saw it on the interception against Oakland down deep when they were going in to score, one of his first interceptions, where he locked in, and it was like, what is he doing? Where is he looking? And I don't know if it's because he doesn't think he's going to have enough time to throw it, if he doesn't trust his arm, and he's almost overly anticipating. But those are the things that are most jarring. Not the athletic decline. That is what it is. But just he's making mistakes that we're seeing, some of these younger quarterbacks.
Steve, do you believe the Broncos are making a mistake trying to force feed this offense on Peyton?
I think that they've actually made some adjustments to try to accommodate him. And I think, the one thing, the unfortunate thing about the regular season is you don't have enough time to really continue to make that those adjustments. You're making them on the fly. And I think that's going to continue. I do think, when you talk to some of the players on the team, especially the defensive players, they're like, Peyton's having to kind of learn a system where he's not totally in control for the first time in his career. And that's taking, I think, everybody, the whole offense. Because, you think about it, it's not just Peyton that's messing up. That run game's not working. There's all kinds of elements that aren't working here. And so I think the whole offensive side of the ball is going through an adjustment, not only learning a system, but now kind of going through the amendments, if you will, that they're trying to make to accommodate some of Peyton's strengths and weaknesses. So it's influx. I don't know if it's going to get any better. I think that's the big question all of us are waiting to see, because typically by now teams are what they are. They can get better, and we've seen teams in Week 7, that's where they kind of tighten up some of the mistakes, from after 6 games on. That's kind of the point we've seen historically. Look at Seattle last year when it made its move. Look at New England last year when it really started to gain traction. So after this bye week, those 2 games that the Colts have against Green Bay and Indianapolis, that's going to be the real telltale sign, because they've got time to make these adjustments, and they've got time for guys to get healthy. And we'll see what comes of it, because I still think this defense is going to be what this team's all about. If Peyton reduces the takeaways, they've got a shot, though.
Okay.
The giveaways, I should say.
You talk about Peyton reducing the giveaways, and you said something that was really interesting to me that I want you to elaborate on or think about some more. You said this is not only changing the offense, it's Peyton having to give away control. And how big a deal do you think that is? Because it strikes me as it's not freaking him out, but it's playing with his mind that not only is it not his offense, but he's not in control of this offense the way he was in years past.
Yeah, it's different. I don't know if it's necessarily freaking him out, but I mean, how many times in previous years, think of him in the days with the Colts or early on even with the Broncos, where he's pointing a guy here, yelling at a guy there for not doing that. You don't see him doing that now. You see guys, you saw some of the body language of Emmanuel Sanders in that last game looking up, like shaking his head like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's where, Peyton's kind of saying, hey, I think he understands he's got to get better. He can't make some of the mistakes, but it's different for him. And we've seen quarterbacks at the tail end of their careers go through things like this. Here's something to chew on. I mean, it's completely different circumstances, but after this many games, at the last year of Brett Favre's career, numbers were the same. 7 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Wow.
And so you're looking at, guys who, look, Brett Favre can still pump it, though. I mean, he can still throw it. He was a quarterback the Vikings actually paid more to come back for that final year, whereas the Broncos asked Peyton to take a pay cut. A lot of different circumstances in there. But I think you're seeing guys at the back end, trying to maybe push it, and things not working around them. I mean, look, even Peyton in the locker room, he's dealing with guys who are, 20 years younger than him just about, just trying to figure those things out.
I guess to Steve Wyche. He's an NFL Network reporter and analyst, and you can follow him on Twitter at Wyche89, W-Y-C-H-E 89. And this Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, the Bills and Jaguars are going to be playing in London, and it's going to be streamed live on Yahoo across all digital devices, including online with any browser and through the Yahoo Sports app on iOS, Android, and connected TVs. Steve Wyche, and it's Wyche at Wyche89.